This is my view.
I don't know what to say, because since the NSAs die, the department and everything, most of what they do is not meant to be visible. As in, when I was growing up, all our NSAs and everything, they're like spies, and you hardly hear or to be seen or anything. But you know what happened in the last administration during Goodluck Jonathan, how that place was a cesspit for corruption and everything. And I don't know if what they're agitating for makes sense to you.
First, you know, when you have Man United fans, they will always bring football to everything. We're talking about security. BK brought football.
I was talking about
they will beat them this week, don't worry. You know, one thing that we should appreciate the legislators for on this is that overwhelmingly, that bill was thrown down. We advocated, again, in the public space for a national security advisor that is not necessarily a military person, saying that our problem was not that of external aggression. So getting him was a product of our collective agitation. And I think this bill, especially coming from a member, you will see that it is not from the presidency. And there is no way such a bill will come without its input. So you should start asking questions. Are there anything? I was able to get, this bill is just about maybe 2 pages, nothing, no big deal to it. And it's so ambiguous. Let me not throw some words around. Let me read to you. I got it, I called and I was able to get, a copy of it. See this, the NSA will be able to appoint, if this bill is passed, the number of staff it deems fit and expedient. There is no, limit. No limit. Again, he will be able to set the terms and conditions of remuneration, allowances, benefit, as may be determined from time to time by the National Security Advisor himself, in line with whatever they have put in place here. I think this is ambiguous. He was mentioning what we have spent on recurrent expenditure. Again, yesterday, I was saying something somewhere. See, we've not gotten the full data for 2023. For 2022, let's take that as a case study. Nigeria had a 1.8 trillion naira budget size. We were only able to make 5.3 trillion naira. The rest, of course, we spent about 14.6 trillion, if I remember. And only 5.3 trillion came for our revenue. That was even lesser than what we used to service debt. Debt servicing for that same year went to 106%, and this is largely because of the recurrent expenditure that keeps growing, even when you said you have stopped employment in places. And so, unfortunately, I don't think that we are putting the critical thinking in place in our policy formulation process. Else, I don't expect such a bill like this to even find its way at this time. Don't forget that the NSA is seen as the coordinator of national security. There is no special force in his office. The office of the DIA, supply staff, the army, all of them, the NIA. And see, good thing here, they transfer staff from time to the second staff from time to that place. If it is keeping institutional memory, they don't move them at once. And who is going to train those that you're bringing? This is intelligence service, not some ad hoc job somewhere. So for me, I think the Senate has done a good thing, a fantastic job by throwing down this. Even though they said they will discuss this later, I think we should even take this up as a thought, instead of the realm, to ensure that this bill does not see the light of the day, or whatever bill at all that would tend to increase the burden of recurrent expenditure in this country.
In this hardship, Mr. Ribadu seems to be the most flamboyant NSC that I've seen in a very long time. So they still want to give him more powers to employ his staff, to do I think that is not our problem. Our problem is fighting Boko Haram, getting bandits off the streets. Bandits are entering Abuja. I think we should be talking more of that. If it's something like that, it should be discussed. Not about staffing, giving staff to the NSA.
You know, I'm surprised, and I want to even thank the senators for, you know, turning down this bill. And I know sometimes some senators will go back and then they will begin to see how they can fine-tune it so that it will make a lot of sense and then bring it back. They should just turn it down, because I'm not sure we have the problem of trying to create, having office. We just have so many security agencies, and at the end of the day, we are still bedeviled by insecurity. Now, in all security agencies that we have something like a quasi NSA. What do I mean? The NSA, as it stands today, coordinates all the security agencies. So before you go, they already know that you have that intelligence gathering knowledge, and then they will move you there. That is what they do. So if you are working in Nigerian Navy, you are working in the Army, they already know that you have that intelligence gathering knowledge, and then they will move you there. Once your work is done, they can now move you to another place. That is how it's done everywhere in the world. But I don't know why our own will want to create office inside another office. And even now, from the bill, they will now give you salary. So it means you'll be collecting salaries in two places. You understand? You collect here. Then you now come here, you collect again.
No, he doesn't even want from those places. He wants to employ his own himself.
No,
determine
what they get.
Without knowing, so you determine any. Do you know what it means to determine any salary? It means anything that comes. So it be, oh, you are Ayo, I like you. Okay, be any 1 million per hour. So that is what it means. No, at this particular time, what we should be thinking of is how to deal with this insecurity. It should be talking about how to make that NSA better than what it is. Be proactive. Before any crime happens, the NSA should be able to know and then tell the Nigerian police, the army, for them to go there and deal with it. Not bring in bills that will now give us more problem. At the end of the day, you now hear that the budget is up again. Why? Because they've created another office inside the NSA.
Why?
You shouldn't be thinking about that.
I think the job of intelligence gathering is done by the agencies, and that is what is meant to coordinate,
yes.
And not necessarily creating some large office where you will employ those you want. So for me, we should invest that money in intelligence gathering for the man who has lost a daughter at this stage and is still looking for 60 million naira to bail them out. We should create that. We should, fund intelligence gathering much more to prevent a case where a man has worked for his entire life and his son or daughter. Let me cite the case that happened sometimes back. They picked the daughter up, and the man had to sell the home he retired to just to bail the daughter out. And guess what? It was only the dead body that he brought out. Such people need more expenses, not the office of the NSA.
Junior, your final word on this?
Yes, I am convinced that at this time, this is not necessary at all. I will advise the Senate to move from stepping this down to throwing the bill into the trash can.
Completely out.
We really don't need.
We should not consider it at all.
People already playing that role. We don't need that bill at this time. It doesn't have to embody the role of of the PAMSEC of the services, because the PAMSEC of the services, that is the institutional memory of government or national security. So that role shouldn't go to Rebadu. It shouldn't go to any of his staff. Let them focus on protecting Nigerians. Right now, we are losing the plot. That should be his focus, not recruiting people into his office. He wants the office of the NSA to become an autonomous office rather than a coordinating office for national security. That should not be allowed to happen.
All right. I want to thank you. Kolawole Johnson, thank you for your contribution. And Asuko James, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay, BQ, Thank you for passing in the swing. Maybe next edition we'll talk about the performance of the Super Eagles. I know that's so passionate about football.
I know they.
I'll ask for the comments tomorrow. And that's our offering today. You can watch the replay broadcast tonight at 11 p.m. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 for Journalist Hangout. On Sunday, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Ayodele Uzubako. See you tomorrow, and God bless Nigeria.
The TVC News at 7 and the TVC News at 10 are not like any other news broadcast.
It's the big news hour, the hour for the big breaking stories.
We've got some of the best reporters on the field.
Taking you through as it happens.
It's fast-paced, hard-hitting.
With investigations that matter.
Bringing in news that affects your life.
With sports, entertainment, and business news, so you don't miss a thing.
Experience resourceful coverage with depth.
Every night.